got two pairs of the Adidas Adistar Jellyfish in the real green, but one of these are fake. Now guys, it's been a very long time since we've done one of these, and I thought, you know, why not? Especially with a popular shoe like the Jellyfish, I thought it was only right to do a real versus fake comparison. And before we even get into that, which one of these do you guys think is real or fake? Pause and comment down below. I want to say first, as a disclaimer, I do not support the buying or selling of counterfeit goods on this channel. However, if you decide to buy real shoes or you decide to buy fake shoes, that is your business. And I don't judge you any differently whether you got real shoes on your feet or fake shoes on your feet. I do not care. You are the same human being at the end of the day, and what you decide to do with your money is nothing to do with me. But me personally, when it comes to sneakers and me doing sneakers for how long I've been doing it, I've kind of just came to the fact that if I can't get a sneaker and I'm not going to be paying resale, which I hardly ever do, I just move on. These particular shoes have released in several different colorways, and I've missed out on several different colorways, and I'm okay with that. There'll be other opportunities down the pipeline. However, some people out there, they can't take that and they want to go get the shoe, but they're not trying to spend $1,000. So they go the route of buying the fake. If that's your decision at the end of the day, more power to you, whatever makes you happy. But for me, I just pass. I don't rock any fakes. So whether you're real, whether you're fake, I don't care. Do what you do. It's your right. It's your money. I don't care. One of these sneakers retail at $300 while the other one retails at $150. Let's go ahead and break it down. So if you guessed that this one was the real pair, you're right. I'm just playing. No, it's this one. The left pair, or the left one in my hand at least, is the authentic pair of the Adidas Adistar Jellyfish. This pair in particular was actually sent out to me from Adidas, so salutes to them. And this is the Fugazi, the fake pair. And I gotta say, just right off the rip, from the naked eye, it is hard to tell which one of these are real and which one of these are fake. And I think at the end of the day, when you're walking out and about, nobody's gonna be able to tell the difference. It just is what it is. It took me having these hand in hand more so to know the difference. And when I got these shoes in hand, this was the first time I saw these shoes in person. If I would have saw these first, not knowing anything about this, I would have probably believed that these were real. So they did a very crazy, scary job on this particular fake pair right here. And one of the reasons why I like to make these videos is because I want to make sure that if you are someone out there that's going to try to go buy these on a secondary market from a reseller or from a shop or something like that, I don't want you paying resale authentic money on a Fugazi pair that's only $140. It can happen. It has happened already. People just don't even know. So with that said, let's go ahead and break down the real versus the fake. So one of the things off the rip when looking at these particular shoes, and even you can see it side by side, is the actual color that it came with itself. The real pair, the real green, it's called real green. That's the particular colorway. It is called a Focus Olive Core Black Real Green. Is not what is represented on the fake pair. As you can see on the fake pair, this is the real, this is the fake. The fake pair is a more of a highlighter, brighter green overall. And you can even see some of the overall texture going on is slightly different as well on the portions of the green on the back panel. Now, for the most part, that green is the same throughout. So you have pretty much a way lighter green on the fake pair when it comes to the overall color of this particular sneaker. Now they have multiple other fakes out there, like for the orange one, they even have colors that haven't even released yet. So it could be different depending on which pair that you overall get. Now, that is probably one of the first things that stood out when I just initially looked at these like, oh, okay. But then the biggest part of this overall is the actual sizing and dimensions of the sneaker. The real pair is drastically bigger overall, from being wide, from how popped out everything is. There is a humongous difference in the overall sizing of the shoe. You actually will see that in a lot of the B-roll that I show, that this pair right here is significantly bigger than the actual fake pair. So you have the colors as well as the size. There is a lot of differences, and a lot of that differences come also out of the width of the shoe from the top portion, but also on the back portion and the midsole as well. You can even see on the back portion that there's a difference of bulge. Check that out, the bulge difference. No diddy. This shoe right here is significantly smaller, it's shorter, it's not as big, especially on the actual outsole itself. And you can also see that that midsole on the fake pair is more white, while the real pair is got almost like that sail or off-white type of look going on. So side by side, there is mainly a lot of differences when it comes to the overall colors and how well they tried to capture those colors. It's from the greens, from the grays, from the midsole's color overall, and the thickness. You could just obviously see that the real pair is a much bigger and I would say, you know, more, not necessarily saturated, but just thicker in all of its aspects. Another weird thing though, I would say also with the authentic pair is the materials. Now the materials itself, surprisingly, especially more so on the mesh portions, the mesh on the real pair, when you're looking at it, it's like softer. You know, you could rub your fingers over it, you could see that it gives a lot, especially on that mesh portion of the shoe throughout it. However, on the fake pair, there is a more, that mesh is a little bit more, it's a little bit more tougher. It's tough, it's not as giving. It's a little bit more stiff, I would say, overall, when I noticed that. You also can see some differences even on the toe box itself. When looking down, you see how that toe box on the real pair reaches up way further than this pair right here. You also see that the lines, a lot of this, the overall craftsmanship and the cuts and the specific designs are just a little bit out of tune and out of touch when comparing them to the real pair. And what I mean is just the overall pattern. So like this versus that, this is way thinner than that. You also even have this right here, the gray portion on the actual tongue, the shape of that, the material of that. You could see that there's a lot going on as far as differences go. And as I stated earlier, there's a lot of differences more so just with the dimensions and sizes of everything. So even on the tongue itself, you got the logos, like this logo right here, which of course has the Jellyfish Virginia. It looks good, you know, you might not really necessarily see that. However, when you got the big dog coming through, you can obviously see there's some significant difference overall in that shape of that actual pattern that goes on top of it. The gray, the actual logo is different, it's bigger, and it's just more better in detail in my humble opinion, comparing that real pair right here compared to the fake. And once again, you can see that the colors of those greens are once again different. And that material is different. It's different materials. It looks very good. It looks very one of one, but this is just a slightly more tougher material than this one. And it just feels more better quality. Now, one of the biggest things that I wanted to see how well it could be replicated, if it could be replicated at all, is a lot of the fins and the jellyfish actual parts of the shoe. And we're talking about, you know, this portion right here, I guess you could say it's more of like a polyurethane, or maybe it's a rubberized material. It's got a lot of different textures going on. And for the most part, I'll be honest, it's not really that bad. It goes once again though with what I said before, where the portions of these type of little patterns are just not as bulky and stick out as much as on the real pair. You see how much slim that shoe is? It's way more slim compared to that, and I'll just show it to you even better. So you can see obviously some differences of how much that sticks out on the authentic pair versus this is authentic, this is fake right here, this is fake. You can see obviously how much more that one actually sticks out on the real pair than the fake. And you also once again see the differences of those actual outsoles and how significantly those are bigger. On the bottom, the outsoles themselves, for the most part, pretty standard. Not too much of a difference. You have that color. Once again, the actual patterns are way more detailed on the authentic pair in my humble opinion. But for the most part, that part is something that you don't even really see, so people won't even matter. I noticed also a big difference on the insoles. The actual Jellyfish logos themselves, there's a differences of sizes. The real pair is way bigger. The actual insole itself is thicker. It has more overall comfort. And yeah, that's one of the main portions for the most part. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did not try this shoe on. We'll have B-roll. I'm gonna have to go and film the B-roll for that. Oof. Now, as far as sizings go, the Jellyfish, which is a size, the fake one is an 8.5, it's definitely small. It feels way smaller than how a half should feel. Like my foot is being cut off, chopped off completely. I don't have that issue really with any type of shoe out here right about now. Like any shoe, any Jordan, any Adidas, anything, for the most part, I do not have that issue whatsoever. These definitely run small and it's very uncomfortable, and my big toe is about to bust through the front of this goddamn shoe. With that said, you definitely can feel a difference. You definitely feel the difference of walking. You could feel the comfort that comes with the authentic pair versus the fake pair. The fake pair also, I would say, has a lot less guts in it, so there's not as much cushioning that you get from that real pair. You can feel it. The shoe itself, you can even see, obviously, as stated before, it's thinner, so you're feeling all that going on within the shoe. It's giving, it's taco meat, It's very, very, for the most part, not as comfortable as the real shoe. The real shoe feels very comfortable from the outsole itself and the pressure that's utilized on there, because it does utilize the Adidas outsole, but that of course is not being utilized on the fake pair. But you can definitely feel how comfortable these feel on foot compared to what you're getting out of the fake pair, which it's like a hollow, it's like a shell. They're focused on the outside and how it looks, no comfort whatsoever, but kind of makes sense when it's a fake sneaker. Now we got the laces also. The laces, for the most part, they did a fairly reasonable job. Now, I need to see something, right? And maybe I can even do this on camera, because I didn't even notice that. But I believe that these laces, these look like 3M. The fake pair, the material is completely different. I mean, it's completely, there's no 3M on there. You see this pair right here, this is the real pair, this is the fake pair. There is completely no type of material being put on that. So let me see real quick if that is true. All right, guys, so one thing is there is no 3M on the lace. All right, guys, so there is no 3M on the lacelets, but there is 3M on the laces on the real pair. The fake pair does not have that 3M. So as you can see, 3M real, no 3M on the fake. As I mentioned also, just once again, you have the Adidas on the real pair versus the Adidas on the fake pair. And you can obviously see a big size discrepancy of the two. I'm gonna link these up. It's hard to link these up to, like, you just see that it does not line up with the shoe, because everything is just extremely bigger and bulkier on that real pair. So I decided to weigh these also, and the weight differences are pretty significant for the most part, more so significant on the sneaker size, because these are the same size shoe. The fake pair came in weighing at 17.99 ounces, so pretty much 18 ounces flat, like literally. While the real pair came in at 19.67. And I got B-roll on there, so it should show the correct number and all that. So you pretty much have 1.5 ounces difference of weight on these pairs, which show why when it's significantly just bigger overall compared to this one. However, at the same time, I'm very surprised of these even being 18 when they look significantly smaller just overall than the real pair. And then another thing, I was seeded this pair from Adidas. And when I was seeded it, I was not sent the correct box. I was sent like a seeded box, a black and white Adidas box. However, the fake pair did come in a box, and this box I believe is the correct box that you see normally. Now you could definitely tell that it's a more cheaper version. It looks very, very flimsy. This doesn't look official. The box, it reads Adistar Jellyfish white/green/black. Now I do not know if the real green colorway features those colors or the colors that are stated online, which is that focus olive, black, and real green. That part I don't know. On the inside though, you also have a bag, and the bag has the jellyfish on it. Of course, you do not get the little clear bag that is featured on the pair that you have to rip open and take them out like a jellyfish. And look, man, I'm not here to support and promote fake and counterfeit sneakers. I'm more so here to just give you guys what to look for, real versus fake, so that you do not get your head bust open, your pineapple cracked. People are spending $1,000 on these shoes, which I would say, no, they're not worth $1,000. They're worth retail. After that, anything else, out of pocket. But if you want to spend resale on an authentic pair and you want to drop $1,000, more power to you. Hey, hook me up with a job. I just don't want you paying that $1,000 thinking you're getting this, and you're getting this, and you're rocking this, and you never know. So I would like for you to know the differences before that, so when you buy thinking you're getting this and you get something like this instead of getting something like this. Because believe it or not, if I were to just have gotten this sneaker in, not knowing that, I would not know. It would take me getting these side by side. Even though I'm able to say a lot of the differences, that's because I know and I'm able to do the differences of the left and right and break it all down and show it to you. But if I didn't know, I wouldn't know. I guess that makes sense. Heck, it even got the torsion system markings on the inside. Once again though, the colors are slightly off, so keep that in mind. And me making this video and the time that I'm making this video, when it comes to these factories that make fake sneakers, they're only getting better and better. They'll probably watch this video and see the real and see the fake and say, we need to make the difference, change the color, add this. They gon', by the time this video out, they already got a new version out that's even closer and closer and closer and closer. So just be careful out there, because you could spend $1,000 thinking you're getting a $300 sneaker when you're getting a $150 sneaker. So yeah, stay tuned. If you want to see more of these videos, we can do this. I'm definitely open to doing more real versus fake. I would just like to know more so what shoes you would like me to do those for. Maybe it's gonna be more of those hyper releases like Travis Scott's, or of course it has to be something that I can get the real pair and get the fake pair and compare it to, but I'm definitely open to making that content so I can save a lot of you guys from getting your head cracked, and also just giving you some educational type of videos. Feel free to comment down below if you love this video and you wanna see more, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out, peace.